On the day after Jesus cleansed the temple, he and his disciples made their way back into the city. Peter was evidently shocked to see that the fig tree that Jesus had cursed the day before had now withered all the way down to the roots. Jesus doesn't address the obvious lesson of the fig tree, but if this tree represents the Jewish nation and leadership and Jerusalem and the temple specifically, then Jesus was about to do more than just cleanse it. He was going to judge it down to the roots. Jesus does use the fig tree as an opportunity to teach another lesson to the disciples, a lesson about faith. More than withering fig trees, if they trusted God, they could move mountains. They needed to trust Him and turn to Him in prayer. God's power is incredible, and what we must do is trust Him. Mountain is used here in a figurative sense. Man's industriousness can move literal mountains. Jesus is talking about something more serious here. Mountains are used throughout the Old Testament prophets to talk about seemingly insurmountable obstacles. If we trust God, then He will help us to overcome even the most difficult of circumstances. However, the fact that Jesus says this mountain indicates that Jerusalem is the subject of Jesus' discussion. The disciples were going to face great challenges from the Jewish leadership that was centered on the Jerusalem mountain. But that mountain was going to be judged. The disciples needed to trust God and petition Him. When we ask in line with God's will for us right now, we will always receive a yes answer to our prayer. This is a prayer of faith. That is, a prayer that's in line with God's Word. A prayer of faith is more than just praying for a new sports car and really thinking we're going to get it. You can have whatever you want. What you want is the result of trusting in the Lord and His promises. That is, if you pray in faith. The other condition on our prayers being answered is forgiving others. If we forgive others, then we can have the confidence that the Lord will forgive our sin. God has forgiven us, and we should forgive others. And if we don't, we can have no expectation that God will forgive us.